This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Birch, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I'm Kelly Thompson, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome back. It's been a while since we had a regular episode of the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. Joining me as always. He's back. He's back.
Yeah, not as always, Philip.
Oh, yeah.
I have been missing, lost in space and time.
Well, who are you, sir?
Why, I am Charlie, the Professor Esser, back from parts unknown to be known.
And she who is ever present in your hearts, in her dark heart, it is.
Hey, y'all, it's Little Hellfire. What's up?
She's the omnipresent one.
What's up, girl?
I don't know who Wolverine is fighting in this picture. It's not in the book, but it's cool.
Variant covers that have nothing to do with the interior. The hell
You don't say! Get out of town! Shut the front door!
He's trying to make money.
Come on, ka-ching button for old time's sake, Phil.
Do what I want to do.
Hold on. I'm gonna pick up the ka-ching.
He lost it. It's been so long.
I know it has. I retired it, but I'm bringing it back, baby.
It's not like you in the box. Wait, Marvel putting out something just to make money?
There we
go. That's the sweet spot.
I actually didn't mind it. I mean, I didn't pick it. I want to know who the guy with the things is. Is this a Fortnite guy? Is this a Mortal Kombat guy?
The guy with the thing.
The Fortnite.
Impossible villain, you say?
See, it's the Fortnite you play, right? Or what's the game you play?
The Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah.
How does Charlie have a zoomer and not know not to put the?
Because we got the Nexus War. Well, because he plays lots of things.
Although, from what I hear, season 4
he has Wolverine now. He's got Wolverine.
Marvel's in Fortnite now? Did season 4 start?
Well, Deadpool was in Fortnite, so Marvel's always been in Fortnite.
Yeah, but I mean, did season 4 start?
Yes. Well, you should know that because if you read...
Well, I did read that, but I didn't know if it... Because someone told me, hey, Fortnite.
Yeah, because when I asked Tris if you want to read it, he said, I already read that. Each page was already released to us digitally, old man.
Burn!
My 7-year-old told me season 4 didn't start yet.
No, Tristan already killed Wolverine, so, you know. Because you have to kill them to take their power.
Well, he hasn't been playing Fortnite in a while.
Yeah, so he's killed She-Hulk and Wolverine. He was mad because he just got more Iron Man powers. It's like, those are like the, you know.
He must be so bad.
Basic.
Yeah, basically.
Variety.
You know, I always say, hey, $65 billion and a inventive genius, that is the power you want. It's like, yeah.
It's just not fun to play in a video game. If it was real life, one thing. But in a video game, not in the face. Eyeballs.
So is Bruce Wayne broke again? Is that a thing now?
Joker stole his money, but Catwoman stole it back. Right now, it's in the hands of Lucius Fox. So,
which is who's coming off Joker gas, but whatever.
What?
I don't think he keeps it in a money bin.
No. It was computer hacking and stuff.
It's like in the Dark Knight trilogy.
It was like transfers to Cayman Island stuff. Yeah, no. There were no physical money being scammed, but like
honestly, it's safer nowadays.
Numbers went from one account to another. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are very easy to undo because you say that was clearly not a legal transaction.
Actually, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
And what does legal have to do with the city of Gotham?
Well, here's essentially how it works. because the bank that had it in their account doesn't want to lose $1 million of secured funds. So if Bruce Wayne just says, "Oh, I didn't do that transfer," they say, "Well, great, then we will, because we have the physical money in our vaults. We will just let them know that was an illegal transfer, and the money's back in your account."
You also don't want to get Joker venomed in the face either.
Not in the face.
Don't want to get Joker venomed at all, but Joker. I don't know. Is it Joker Venom now? Shouldn't it be like it used to be Joker Gas? I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
When you want to do Bane, but everybody's sick of Bane, you do Joker Venom.
And it's not even Venom, because he's not like producing it. Well, I guess, as far as we know, though, I guess the Batman Who Laughs says that, yes, it's distilled from his own maddening blood. I don't know. I don't know. It's
no one does. No one cares.
DC people in your crazy books.
Not in the face. Marvel's way worse, but whatever. We'll move on for now.
Whoa.
They're way worse about things like that. I'm just saying. Don't.
I'm not going to say that's
Don't
not
leave the flaming bag of poop just on DC's door. Everybody's equally terrible. Okay?
Anyway.
I'm not going to say it's not true. I am going to say that Marvel spreads it out. The ludicrousness has more than one name, and I guess there's 3 Jokers now, or no, they're back down to 2, right?
There's a vat waiting to make more, though, so don't you worry.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a big.
So what did they do to Jason Todd? I heard that they got their revenge on Jason Todd.
We're just talking comics. I mean, there's other news we could be talking about. It's
do
Marvel news. It's not like I care. If you want to save it for Super Connect TV, I don't care.
Come on, Charlie Esser. Come on, Charlie Esser. You got to give us some foreplay before you get there. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's rusty. It's been a couple of weeks, guys.
Oh.
The apple juice is fully flowing, and
oh, you didn't tell me I could stop drinking for 2. Thanks for the heads up. My liver sends its regards.
Oh, sorry, Lilith. I thought you knew. I was pretty explicit about when the end date was. It was when I had the doctor's appointment. I've had the appointment.
Yeah, because
my liver is back to normal.
It was such a sacrifice for her to drink extra, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. So, no, I was going to say the good news that come out of Marvel, because, Lilith, you said you were going to research this actress. We got a casting announcement for Miss Marvel in the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Adorable.
She's an unknown, as they say.
Which is good sometimes. Well, for kid actors, it's better because they haven't been through the machine. So,
Well, is she like a Canadian actress or something?
Even better.
They're all Canadian.
Ryan Reynolds, I'm just saying, they're all Canadian. It's Canucks all the way down.
They're all Canadian.
Well, that's a Disney thing too,
Well, yeah, because the thing about Canadians is you can pay them less because they don't know how money works.
Canada, that's at Charlie Esser. Look for the 2 E's.
No, that's it's a different money kind of thing. You can pay them in Canadian dollars. That's cheaper. Everyone knows that. And no, the real thing about Canada is they have healthcare, so actors can actually just be actors and get good at acting because they don't need healthcare because they have it. So if
you could be like Mayim Bialik and go back to acting because you need healthcare.
Yeah, well, that also, but only because she was Mayim Bialik, she can go back to acting. That's kind of one of those weird catch-22s. But like in Canada, you just have healthcare. That's the default. And so, if you want to be an actor and not ever work a regular job, you still get to live a healthy life of not dying from cancer or something.
Well, did you set up that joke? You said someone said Mayim Bialik, and your profile picture says Blossom up there.
It's Cheryl Blossom, you uncultured swine.
She's one of the Archie.
It's an Archie. I know you don't know. I know it's fine.
I've heard the name. I'm just trying to make a damn joke. Who's out of practice now, little Hellfire?
I just like
we don't joke about the Archies in this house, Philip.
Yes. So, what's your opinion on Cherry Pop-Tart? The porno version of Archie's.
Whoa!
Okay, I don't know. They were.
The adult entertainment version to keep it family friendly.
Okay. I always liked her. I felt her stories were actually very compelling. But
parody adult entertainment, some of it's better than the actual entertainment that parodies. So, that's like Pirates of the Caribbean parody. Really actually pretty awesome. Unless you're watching the Asian cut because they cut all the good stuff out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So little.
Well, they do. It's a whole thing. If you know, you know.
So little hard drive tells her.
Yes. But anyway, it's cool that they have cast him as Marvel. It's actually
we're
really
getting Moon Knight next week, right? Because we've done She-Hulk, we've done Miss Marvel.
okay.
Where is the Moon Knight casting?
Well, if anyone has listened to the latest episode of Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast, Ray was saying, he thinks it's going to be like in the next 2 weeks because, what was it, last week or the week before we got the She-Hulk casting. This week we got the Miss Marvel, so he's thinking within the next 2 weeks they're going to announce Moon Knight.
The only thing is, and this is my thing on that, is I don't think it's going to be, what's his name? Keanu Reeves. Because I just feel he's too big of a name for what they're casting him in.
I don't know. I heard he wants some stability for, that girlfriend of his, for him to be in one place most of the time. So,
that is a good point. Maybe we should have thought of that when they offered him.
I'm kind of the in-house Keanu Reeves expert at this point, so I'll just debunk that one for you.
He's a big name. Disney has lots of money. Can pay him a big salary.
It's Disney. It's like the only franchise he hasn't been in at this point.
Can buy him a big house.
Although he is doing The Matrix, which is a Warner Brothers thing. So that's the only thing that I would say would probably not. That's the big.
You can walk.
Trust me, WB will be petty like that. So
yeah. Well, you can do both sides of the street. Ask James Gunn.
Well, that's directing, not acting. WB is very, especially right now, in a precarious situation where you gotta choose sides now.
Yeah, but he's coming from a position of strength. Oh yeah, you're going to want to make a Matrix.
Well, he can go back to making John Wick movies. Who cares?
Exactly.
Of course, the big issue with Ms. Marvel is that this brings the Inhumans back into play.
Well, maybe it gets done better this time. Maybe we can just pretend like none of that happened.
They're clones. They were clones.
Well, those Inhumans we don't even talk about. Those are like Fantastic Four Inhumans. Those are,
Josh
not
Inhumans.
Yeah, those were the Inhumans that we just don't talk about. But essentially, if they're going to work with a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. origin for her, where there's just the stuff in the water supply, and that's what causes her Inhuman gene to...
Fish oil.
Yeah, fish oil. Taking her omega-3s, man. She ate the wrong salmon during Ramadan.
Oh.
Because she's...
Yes, I know. We know. We got the joke.
We're going to get the whole thing. And that's the thing. It's like she is, a Pakistani girl from, and a devout Muslim from Jersey City. This is all going to be a part of this. These are all things that make her an awesome character because she is a character for whom she has all of these identifying traits that are never her defining traits.
Unless
almost as if she was a white Christian in most any other books, where these identifying traits are not her defining traits; they are just a part of her whole character arc as a person in a comic book. And I think that's one of the many things people love about her is that she is who she is without having that be the defining qualities of making her a comic book character. She doesn't feel token-esque in that sense.
And again, they don't have to mention the Inhuman stuff. Well, at least till season 2. You could play season 1 like, I got these powers. I don't know where they came from.
Or not at all. Don't even answer that question.
They can't Squirrel Girl her. No. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think Feige wants to shy away from it.
No, but you could say that for like the season finale. Somebody shows up from Madeline and it's like, we can tell you exactly where you got these powers. There's your cliffhanger.
Well, yeah, so something like that. But I do think Feige is going to want to put his mark on the Inhumans say who the Inhumans are going to be. He might even recast the actors from the failed TV show, expressly because he will say, well, now we're actually going to do it right. To be honest with you, this is what I always say about any of the Netflix carryovers or anything like that. You know, everyone says, well, Feige won't touch those. Those are tainted. It's like, no, what would make you happier than to take someone else's tainted stuff and make it great again? You know? Just to say, no, this is what the Inhumans should be. I'll take the exact same actors you had. I'm going to show you exactly how you make, dyspeptic Black Bolt a good character. I'm going to show you how you make Medusa a good character. Because it's not like any of those people were bad actors.
No, they just got bad material. But I mean, exactly. What are you going to be able to get them back? Because I know Anson Mount, who played Black Bolt, is playing Captain Pike, and they're doing that Strange New World Star Trek series. So I don't know if he's going to.
Well, he was the worst of any of them, so that's fine if they don't get him. But
well, they told like, oh, it makes
way to be diplomatic.
Hey, I called this
interview
for a reason. Okay, he was really the worst actor in the whole thing. He is not a good silent actor.
I'll have to take your word for it because I was not interested, point blank, period, in that show.
But
here's what I'm going to say. If you like silent acting and you know about what the art form of silent acting is, nobody thought he was good as Black Bolt. Because he really doesn't know how to emote without talking. He doesn't know how to be silent in his movement.
He doesn't know, to take the words from Tyra Banks, he doesn't know how to smize. I get it.
Oh, he does not smize at all. He does not act with his eyes,
Well,
which
again,
isn't a problem unless you only get your eyes to act with.
It's a Marvel property that Charlie can't defend, doesn't want to defend, and he puts Powerless above it.
Powerless, depending on how you swing.
Don't you turn back now.
No, I still think it's a terrible show, but I know why people found it charming. It was Alan Tudyk, let's just all be honest. And then the Adam West stuff, so it had its moment.
And first off, remember, I'm not a DC fan, so anything making fun of DC, remember, I like Ambush Bug, which is just basically one long riff on how stupid DC is. So obviously, I'm going to be like, yes, absolutely, Powerless. I can see that being an Ambush Bug property. So yeah, I love Powerless. I know why no one else does, because a lot of people don't like to see their characters maligned.
So the
I grew up with Red Brown Captain America. I grew up with Lou Ferrigno Hulk. I'm okay with you changing the story and making it weird and silly and kind of not what it was in the books, because it's like, okay, well, let's just see where you're going to go with this.
So the modern day Ambush Bug is Lilith Hellfire? Making fun of DC anymore? Yeah.
I don't think Ambush Bug is out of the DC universe at the moment. I think he still exists.
I don't think we've seen him in a while, though.
You never know with DC. They'll bring him back like he was dead the whole time, and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, is Griffith still with DC?
Oh, Keith Giffen.
Keith Giffen, yeah. Because he's the only person who's ever written Ambush Bug.
I don't think he's done anything in a while over there, has he, Lilith?
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I can recall in recent memory, no.
Thanks.
Unless it's on some of the other imprint things, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really, unless it's the Wonder imprint, I'm really kind of out of practice.
But, he's kind of, Ambush Bug is his Howard the Duck, and yet no one else seems to want to, the way that everyone wants to write Howard the Duck. No one else wants to write Ambush Bug, which I don't get, because to me, Ambush Bug is like, oh, that is like the most awesome character to write. Why would you not want to do it? But then again, maybe he's really protective of it, and so no one wants to write it because they don't want to have to actually go to him every issue and say, hey, can I have Ambush Bug do this? Can I have Ambush Bug do that? What are the parameters of Ambush Bug, and how should I explore him as a character? But Ambush Bug, Harley Quinn Season 3. Mark my words.
Ooh.
Mark my words.
Oh, he's friends with Kite Man or something.
Yeah. Tristan says they had Kite Man, so they might have Ambush Bug.
Exactly.
I don't know if that logic follows, but I'm going to stand by it.
All right, can I ask this next thing? Is it a horrible internet rumor, or is Jamie Foxx really coming back for the third Spider-Man?
That better be it's Sam Raimi, so you just don't know because he's bonkers. He don't care about the studio. I don't know why studios are still hiring Sam Raimi to direct anything but horror movies. I don't
Wait,
get it.
Sam Raimi is attached to the next Spider-Man
Right?
movie?
Well, I thought he was doing Doctor Strange. I thought.
Yeah, that's what was. I thought that's what I read where he was trying to stick.
Because they're doing multiverse.
I thought someone was saying Spider-Man 3.
Oh, well, there's conflicting rumors then.
Although I did see someone was speculating online. They're like, okay, WandaVision, maybe Wanda breaks the multiverse. Spider-Man 3, he's dealing with the consequences of it, and then in Doctor Strange, he has to fix it all.
Put it back. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, and for what it's worth, I don't see why anyone's upset by this. Everyone loved that freaking Into the Spider-Verse story.
Yeah.
So we're all, and in fact, everyone's like, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if they got Tobey Maguire and they got Andrew Garfield and they had them be in it?"
We were joking. We were trolling.
No one was joking.
Nobody wants that unless it's in a Deadpool.
Everybody wants it, Lilith.
After credit. Okay.
Everybody wants it, Lilith.
We were trolling. We weren't serious. We were not serious.
A lot of people were. A lot of people are selling their houses about this. I'm just saying.
Bill, come on. Andrew Garfield was the worst Spider-Man.
I don't have.
I don't think Andrew Garfield was the worst.
I don't think Andrew Garfield was bad.
He's the worst.
I think he was given bad material, and I think Jamie Foxx was the worst thing out of those two movies.
Well, Jamie Foxx.
Well, he wasn't given much. It was ridiculous the things they did.
And actually, what Feige has said is that he actually liked Jamie Foxx as Electro. He did not like the Nutty Professor. Yeah, he didn't like Nutty Professor Jamie Foxx.
And he should have been shoehorned in that movie.
Well, that's the Spider-Man thing. Even in the books, they shoehorn all the villains. Thus, we're getting Sixmas, Sinister Sixmas. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just saying that the problem with Jamie Foxx is that Jamie Foxx decided to do the Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
He decided, like, okay, I'm not going to do, they gave that to Eddie Murphy. I'm the next Eddie Murphy. I'm going to do my Nutty Professor and be, do my own little Cinderfella here and put on the buck teeth and the glasses and be a weirdo. And then I'm going to fall into the vat and then get my superpowers. And then I'll be kind of cool. And I don't know. I guess some people thought it was cool.
Again,
if you know, you know.
You could have taken him out of that movie, and it really wouldn't change much in that movie.
I'd much rather seen the Rhino fight. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Thank you.
But Paul Giamatti was such a lousy Rhino.
That's what would have made it glorious.
And again, too, they didn't give him much. He was like a cheap hood in the beginning, and then in the end, you got like the beginning of a fight. You didn't get to see them.
They're like,
but there's no pathos to that Rhino. All we saw is Rhino in a mech suit.
Oh,
and
mech suit Rhino.
For that particular version of Spider-Man, that's all you needed. That's all you needed.
I mean, you get Paul Giamatti for a villain. He should have got his own movie.
And let's not take it that far.
I mean, fighting Spider-Man, he should have been.
Well, yeah.
But I'm just saying that a mech suit Rhino, unless he's trapped in the mech suit, which is just stupid because then there's all kinds of biological questions about being a guy trapped in a mech suit, including why did you let them put you in a mech suit that you could not get out of? The entire point of Rhino is he is in the suit and he can't get out of the suit. That's what makes Rhino an interesting character. That his powers are a curse, as they say in the in Teen Titans Go. A curse. I
know, but
that's what makes Rhino an interesting character. That his powers are.
That's arguably he's not really even that interesting. He's just iconic as a Spider-Man rogue. No,
he can be written very interesting. If you ever read Flowers for Rhino, that is one of the best written comic books ever made.
Well, again, too, that was the thing that was wrong with that movie. They tried to throw in so many villains. Nobody got any any time to like flesh out any of those characters. I mean, they tried to rush the whole Osborn thing. It's like
that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird about that entire choice is, let's be honest, they have more movies they can make. Theoretically, Sony, when they owned Spider-Man, had to make movies like every couple of years.
They wouldn't lose it.
Why are they rushing?
They wanted.
If it's what they do, they want some money. They need some money. The cameras aren't selling so good. They gotta justify the film studio.
In Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were trying to spin out a Sinister Six thing out of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I know, but you know what you do with the Sinister Six film? The 7th Spider-Man film. And you can even, again, like everyone says, you can build your franchise and bring it back to a Sinister Six story.
That's just not how movie studios work for the most part, other than Marvel at this point. Everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too. That's just how it is, bro.
One connected universe now.
I mean, look what happened to, the Universal Monster. I was so excited for it, and then they gave it to Tom Cruise.
Well, actually, the Universal Monsters one is still a good concept.
Invisible Man was great, but it's just now it's not going to be a shared universe anymore.
Well, they may get back to it. You never know. And they may just do a new Mummy, or they'll bring back Brendan Fraser for that.
I mean, that's honestly what we need to do.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser will be the Mummy in the next one. He's all set. Yes, wrap me up. I can do a slow walk. I'm perfectly cool with that. I will be your Imhotep. Don't at me.
Yeah, you can't get away with that these days. But again, why are you so mad? Why is everybody so mad?
We'll make him Ptolemy, and that's technically when the Greeks had conquered Egypt. So that's okay. Although then, that whole Cleopatra conversation, I don't want to get into it right now.
Yeah, nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, so. Not right now.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not watching a lot of TV anymore. I'm watching YouTube.
You're watching YouTube?
YouTube
more than I'm watching normal TV. Yeah,
just like my child. Okay, very good.
I watch YouTube too. It's great, honestly. The amount of data you can get.
I can't believe Netflix picked up Cobra Kai though. I was very surprised YouTube let that go. That was their kind of prestige show. So.
Maybe they
I don't know if YouTube Red is really working that well.
Well, no, it got wrapped all into premium all over. It's a whole mess behind the scenes on that whole particular thing.
Maybe
the thing with YouTube Red is it's the entire thing that sells YouTube to me is kind of that it is this creator-supported content, small scale, and they just give you a platform. And then you go find what you want to watch, and then they'll sell you an ad before it. And that to me is the genius of YouTube. It's like it's like U62 from UHF. What if we just let anyone come in here and make a TV show? And it works because you know what? Yeah, some people won't watch a TV show, but a lot of people will watch this crazy TV show where this guy is going to teach poodles how to fly.
On a totally unrelated note, you can check this video and so much more on the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel.
Yes, they even let us on there. They let us on YouTube. We have a whole freaking channel there.
They let that Robert Southgate on YouTube. Come on.
Well,
without Molly even. Come on.
The man does have a master's degree.
What?
I will say that. He has a master's degree. Robert Southgate. Master Doom himself.
So says Master Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
Oh!
Oh!
Hey, if it's your box, it's a nice
box. This particular channel was built on boob windows and long boxes. Let us never forget our roots.
Boob windows.
Like Power Girl boob window?
No, I know. Well, Sue Storm boob window.
Okay, Marvel.
Whatever boob window you like, I'm not gonna judge you.
I'm just saying Sue Storm boob window because it's the boob window in the shape of a 4. See, Sue Storm did it both ways. She had her symbol and her boob window.
Ooh, sexuality and math. Ooh.
That's right up Charlie. That's definitely something the professor would like. Anyway, now we can talk about comics. Because, like, honestly, casting Miss Marvel is pretty much the most news.
Well, there is one other story, which is Hawkman. But I don't know if you had an opinion on that.
Was everybody so mad? We already kind of talked about it this week, but yeah, why is everybody so mad? Nobody was mad about Julia Pennyworth, so everybody can just shut the hell up. Y'all let a white girl play Julia Pennyworth when in the comic book she is biracial, so I don't want to hear it from nobody. Shut it. Just shut it.
And again, Hawkman's reincarnated over and over. I mean, it could be anybody.
Well,
but y'all not mad about the rap me and Black Adam. I'm just make it make sense to me, B. Just make it make sense.
They wanted someone to fill out the costume who had a name.
Yeah, and Rock fills out the costume, and not for nothing, it takes place in whatever the DC version of Stygia is, which is but
he wasn't like that in the comics. Is all that I'm saying. For the what more comics people? That's just my whole point.
To be fair, it is now. I mean, nobody's stupid enough to put white people in Egypt now.
Au contraire, mon frere. Have you seen The Gods of Egypt? That movie was made in 2018, homie. Like, okay.
Fair enough. But
they still doing it.
No, but and that is something, and we can talk about this on Super Connectivity if you want, Phil. But I do feel that DC is sort of positioning this Black Adam film, and mark my words, Black Adam may wind up being their biggest film yet, to be DC's Black Panther, with a real heavy, mystically leaning Afrofuturist vibe between Shazam and Black Adam, and now this new Hawkman who is reincarnated from a guy from space.
If they go that route, we don't know if he's a Thangarian or not. We don't know what they're going to decide about.
Yeah, well, it's whatever it's going to be what it's going to be.
It makes more sense for them to do that because that's kind of why they made Martian Manhunter black. Like, it's a whole DC logic thing. Yes, there exists sometimes somewhere deep down at the root of it.
Yeah. But I think but I do think leaning into, because to me, Marvel is all about all magic is just science. And I think where DC can flip that script is saying, no, all science is actually just magic. That magic is the power that is underlying everything. And
Shazam, or magic is just magic and neat, and it's its own thing.
Or however they want to.
And that's really how DC goes about it, to be honest. The mysticism in it, it's just there. It's a force that can be used for good or evil, or neutrality.
Friendship is magic.
But this is why I look at, when you look at and I'm forgetting the actor who plays the wizard Shazam,
Daimon Hansu?
Yes, thank you. Digimon Hansu. He puts a D in a J. I got to pronounce them both. Digimon Hansu.
The J is silent, though.
Digimon Hansu. Yes, but he is Shazam. So we're going to be having him central to this story of Black Adam, which means we are starting this story, which has always been known. It's starting in I forget what they call their ancient Egypt, their antediluvian Egypt. Because that's the idea, it's the Egypt before the flood. When we get our ancient world, our world that predates everything else.
Before you anger God, y'all.
Yeah, well, God is he's got a hair.
He's got a temper.
He's got a bad temper, but especially back then, man. He was.
And look what he lets us get away with now. We've worn him down as a species. We've worn him down.
Well, he's aged. He's grown up. That's the thing. It's like God comes to be. It's like the Beyonder. He comes into existence. He says, "Oh, great! I exist. Let me make a world. Ooh, let's have everyone fight on it." That's the Old Testament and all ancient religions. And as God is grown up, he's like, yeah, let's all just be chill. Yeah. Just try to do unto others as you want them to do unto you. And
I'm curious about what they're gonna do with Black Adam. From everything that I've seen, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look interesting outside of The Rock. And The Rock has turned into Jason Momoa. Honestly, he's always been a Jason Momoa type. Just The Rock being The Rock, with a few exceptions with roles, like maybe 4 out of the ones that he's done where he's not The Rock being The Rock. And Black Adam is just no time for The Rock being The Rock. I'm sorry. I had fallen out of love with The Rock quite a while ago.
I get the feeling, because they have not shot frame 1 on this. The script is not finalized yet. I strongly get the impression
Nor will it ever be. They're going to be writing it on like they do on every movie.
No rush it. Then they'll give it a special cut on HBO Max.
But but what I'm saying is that with the Hawkman revelation, it suggests that they're coalescing into this world that is going to be based on a more ancient take on what they want to, of the story they want to tell. And, not for nothing, The Rock really wants to be a good actor. They paid The Rock.
Oh, my sweet summer child. Oh,
No.
You're breaking my heart here.
Like Eddie Murphy before him, he wants to be a good actor.
Well, Eddie Murphy is a good actor. The Rock is not, nor does he want to. He wants to
be
a movie star with cachet. He literally has said this. Like, I hate to break it to you. Like I said, I loved Rock for years and really fell out of love with him. I'm just telling you what he's actually said. He just wants to be a movie star. He wants to make movies that are fun. He doesn't care about good acting.
But eventually they do. Because at a certain point, it's like Elvis. Elvis hated doing those cheesy B movies, and it was just that, of course, the Colonel said, I don't think you can act, and I will never let you put yourself in this position where you're going to make a fool of yourself because you can't act.
I need it bigger.
Yeah, I mean, and for what it's worth, maybe the Colonel was right, or maybe Elvis really could have been an actor if anyone let him. The Rock, I think this from the very moment they really offered him Black Adam, is he understood that this was going to be a complex role. It was going to be a role where he fit the suit, and it is going to be this bigger and bolder kind of character, but that he was going to get to tell this tale of being the hero, then living long enough to become the villain.
We'll see.
And I think that's going to be, because what other reason is there to tell the Black Adam story except that? Because the Black Adam is literally that story. The idea of he is the hero who lived long enough.
I'm just saying, DC storytelling, like you're a sweet summer child. That's all that I'm saying. Like when it comes to the DCEU, don't be a sweet summer child. You will get a rude awakening and a boot up your butt every single time.
Okay, well, I guess I guess I just have faith in all writers everywhere.
Nope, not me. Not if you're working for DC. You're working for a check, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If you just want a check, you don't care about the creativity. You just want the check, and not the creativity in the check. That's fine. That's just what it seems like to me over on DCEU side of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, that is entirely probable.
Go ahead, throw it in. And I don't judge anybody for it, but like I know what to come to expect now. Like after seeing the Wonder Woman 84, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Someone has seen the Wonder Woman 84?
Yeah, I saw it a while ago. So, that was my last great hope, and everything's on Stargirl now, guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say your mistake was putting it on Wonder Woman 84. But let me put it to you this way.
Wonder Woman is still the best movie in the DCU, despite it not being a very high bar. So,
yeah. I will say I actually think there could be something. Let me put it this way. I think that there are writers and actors working on Black Adam who want it to be a good film. And I do think The Rock is one of those people. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a ridiculous old fool. I've been accused of that before.
Maybe I'm just jaded, a jaded millennial. I don't know. That could be it too.
But based on what I've read from The Rock, I get the feeling he really wants to be a good actor. And I really think that Black Adam is this film that if the right writers are on it, and the right director, and the actors they've gotten, and they all work together, this can be their Black Panther. And the fact of the matter is, it's not like DC doesn't want to have a Black Panther. It's not like DC is saying, "Oh no, we don't want to touch that." It's like,
actually, if you know it,
okay, well, maybe they do, but I'm just saying, several $1 billion is.
It's a reason why Cyborg's depicted the way that he is. They could have done a few other things. It's a reason. It's a reason why Catwoman turned out the way that it did. I'm just saying.
Even if they wanted their own Black Panther, I don't think Black Adam would be it.
It would be Vixen, baby.
True.
To be honest.
No. You see, but that's the mistake, because Vixen is too close to Black Panther. The reason why Black Adam is what if we told the story of Black Panther, but from Killmonger's perspective? What if we took this idea of this person who had been pushed down by his system so that he became the villain and is pushed down by this?
That's not how DC works. They like to rip off Marvel. So I'm saying if they were going to do a Black Panther, it would be Vixen.
Okay. I mean,
that's how they work.
I
mean, they should hire you. They should hire you. You guys should hire Charlie. You've got excellent ideas, no doubt.
I look at what they've done. It's, Wonder Woman, Shazam, their successes, even Aquaman in his own right. There is this semi-mystical quality. There is this idea that gets out of that world of science and, aliens did it. Or this is just, super advanced tech. And getting into this idea of, as in Shazam, these are the virtues. These are the sins. These are the things we avoid. These are the powers that we want. And this idea of building that universe in that magical realm, which is where I think DC really shines. That, I think, is a good idea. And I think that if
just make another Constantine movie with Matt Ryan if you want mysticism.
But see, Constantine but that's the thing, is Constantine, yes, he is magical. But he'd be more at home
on the side of sin. We get it. He's
not even that. He just, I mean, if you want to, like, Zatanna is magical and can be dark, but also has
Dr. Fate, things like that. I get you.
Yeah, I mean, there are qualities in DC's mystical universe, which is actually a really cohesive mystical universe, where they could really build out a world toe-to-toe with Marvel, where, no, we just do magic. Our superheroes are all magical. That's what we do. That could be a great universe for them to explore. And then just going into it's like, no, all science is just magic. Yes, you think it's science, you think you know it, but really there's something deeper in it. That's why freaking Green Lantern rings work on willpower. You think willpower is like a quantifiable scientific term that you're utilizing? No, you are magically saying, I wish for this, and my willpower is what makes it so. And I have a talisman that takes my willpower and makes it real. And in that sense,
unless you're Alan.
You're who?
Alan Scott.
Oh, Alan Scott. Well, but his was originally magical. His was magical, and that was the idea. But the idea is that even though you're going to reveal, aliens and ancient aliens and super science, it's still just magic, because it's still just taking willpower and this emotional spectrum. Hey, Tristan, and playing it out into this physical representation. That is the magic of DC. And that is the strength of their universe. Things like the Speed Force. Don't tell me the Speed Force isn't freaking magical. That is, at its core, a magical idea. The idea that there is just this permeating force of the universe called Speed Force. And you can tap
isn't that supposed to be more scientific equivalent to gravity and things that just always happen?
I would say in the beginning, like when Mark Waid created,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Kind of was more. It might have been kind of mystical or something, but yeah, now it's like they're just like, oh yeah, I think another force of nature of the universe.
Yeah.
Like,
You're coming back from the dead. Well, here's the thing. If you're in a world where a magical thing is natural, then magic becomes nature. But it's still magical. And looking away from it being magical is the mistake. I think that, and I won't say it's a mistake for Marvel because I think it works for Marvel. Marvel is saying, no, all of the magical stuff is its own science. But the idea that in DC, I think it has to be no, because DC heroes and DC villains are so golden age, if you will. Them being more magical is necessary, and them being within that magical universe is necessary. And that's what they need to lean into. That's what they need to drive for. And say, we're going to create a universe of magic, and we're going to start it here in our antediluvian, that means before the flood, take a drink, antediluvian Egypt, where the wizard Shazam finds a champion called Black Adam, and the king that he's fighting against, because again, he's a freaking king. If I'm recalling correctly, the first Hawkman is the king of his thing. Kings aren't necessarily nice people. So there probably is this whole, hey, your society is kind of hurting people. And I know you say it's just and right and you're going to do this, but maybe there's more to it. And maybe that's why Black Adam becomes the villain, because it's a corrupt system. And Hawkman was always the villain the whole time. Bum, bum, bum.
I always feel bad, Lilith, because Charlie has such grand ideas, but then once we
I know, it's just like, if you know, you know.
We're gonna
You're just jaded.
I'm just, I don't have to sit there with him in the theater when he goes to see Black Adam. It's just
He'll make the best of it though. That's the thing about Charlie. He's very positive and optimistic, and that's why we love him. He's a sweet summer child, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would never want to take that away from Charlie.
I know,
ever. Especially
I
in
grew up on
2020.
Hammond Spider-Man and Red Brown Captain America. I can take it.
He grew up in a world of, have we tried killing them yet?
Well, that's come back in fashion, so there you go. Look at you, somebody.
Anyway.
Okay, comic book time, finally.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Sabrina, or have you already talked about Sabrina?
Oh, we can talk about Sabrina. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Okay, well, I find it very interesting. Again, I don't have my book in front of me.
Poor Philip.
I find it very interesting that she is, so there's this moment in the book where she's like, well, it's just a small spell, because she knows magic has a price. Magic always has a price. Thank you.
Like Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, and the idea that, but then again, like any teenager, she's also going to be like, well, it's just a small spell, right? So the price can't be too high, which is also weird that she's like, maybe we should check to see what the price is first. And again, that's something that DC has leaned heavily into over at Justice League Dark, the idea of the price of magic. That is really beautiful. And how a teenager like Zatanna, or in that case, she was a child, could do magic and not realize there were costs. And so this idea of magic having a price is really fascinating in it. And then also realizing that, clearly people are manipulating things around her, and can she even trust what she's being told? So she does the spell, she pays the price, but then was it even an effective spell? Because the information it gave her, it doesn't seem right. So throughout that's a really fascinating idea. I'm mad that there's so much space between me getting these comics, between the issue before this and this issue. So I've sort of lost some of the threads, but I know
I like it. It's very complex, but also thoroughly entertaining. I love the character dynamics, but I also like the subtlety of the world building and how their magic works and why it works, and just the things that she's realizing. I feel like, and not for nothing, I feel like it definitely took from the show a lot more.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which I like. I'm okay with that. Because the first batch of Sabrina was kind of like, it was kind of like for shock value, but this time around it's more for storytelling and really building and fleshing the world out, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I really
Great
like the
characters though. I'm just so infatuated with the characters and how they work among themselves and in the world, and then that art is just so creepy but beautiful.
Oh yeah.
That color palette. I mean, that's my color palette.
I feel it threads the needle between a classic Archie drawing style and a more modernized, realistic version of things. I think it really, really gets that balance perfectly, so that you can see how she is a character with a foot in both worlds.
Mm-hmm. And because she is a character with a foot between many worlds. So yeah, I think that was definitely the inspiration behind that.
And I definitely think the ants aren't the evil. Well, the ants are evil in their own way, but I don't think that the woman who runs the cafe is definitely the evil. That she's actually the antagonist that we're gonna have to deal with at the end of this. But
I don't know. See, that's the thing about Sabrina stories, though. They have a way of surprising you with who the villain actually turns around to be. This ain't your typical Scooby-Doo, which I appreciate.
Okay, well, I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to read more. And there we go. We talked Archie books.
Yeah, suck it, Philip.
Hey. Fine, we'll talk Marvel all the time. No.
That's fine. I read a Marvel book. It's okay.
Oh,
a Marvel book.
Well, first I was going to ask you, have you been reading Spawn still?
Yes. Oh my God. I have to get that Black Panther tribute cover. Like it is sold out everywhere.
I think it's next step. I think it's next
in advance.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wants a copy. So.
Yeah, I think it's next issue. Yeah.
Yeah, we should get back around to talking Spawn one of these days on Comic Capers.
I mean,
it's intriguing. I mean, things have taken a turn.
You're kind of close to home with a worldwide virus and stuff.
Well, and that's kind of Todd McFarlane for you, though. He likes to poke the bear, so.
Like heaven and hell using this worldwide virus. Hell, a Spawn of hell using a virus to further its agenda.
A little too close to home, I know. It's fine.
To be fair, worldwide viruses, they
happen a lot.
Right.
Yeah, they're a trope, and
there's good viruses on all sides. I know.
Yeah, and to be fair, what was it? SARS was supposed to kill us all, but
So was swine flu, and I feel bad for the pigs getting a bad rap like that.
So was One Direction,
But they cared for the killer bees, though. They were friends. That's why the killer bees came to their defense.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah,
it's an old.
Still waiting on my murder hornets, but that's okay.
Yeah,
maybe that's the season finale for 2020. The murder hornets come back.
The murder hornets were always the killer bees. That was the thing.
You said I got the mask. It was the killer bees.
The aliens are just hovering in orbit, waiting to see how this election.
Well, we have seen a spaceship.
I see spaceships all the time.
Hey, there was like some kind of glowing meteor over nearby here.
Damn it, Clark!
Yes, well, hopefully the meteor gave superpowers to at least one person who will use them for good, although we know they will also strike someone who will use them for evil, because that's how magical meteors work. Balance, because it's an inherently magical universe. See, DC, it's right there in front of them. They need only grasp it.
They can't. They're too much of a clusterfuck right now.
Oh, they're grasping something.
It ain't the brass ring, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the one Marvel book you read, love?
Take a guess.
Shang-Chi?
No.
Okay.
Immortal Hulk? Immortal Hulk?
Oh, and you guys can say that for super connectivity if you want. I just jumped back into it, so it's just like, okay.
Hey, we have
jump back into Hulk. So
wait, which Immortal Hulk? The regular series or the Threshing?
The Threshing. The Threshing.
Oh yeah. I read that too. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like okay. It's the number one. I can get back into Hulk. I'm doing exactly what Marvel wants me to do.
Yeah.
It's a number one. I'm gonna get it. You got me, Marvel.
Well, that's a one shot. So the one is kind of a misnomer. But they're going to be having the next one. I think comes out at Christmas.
Of course it does.
I think December. Well, it's that King in Black tie-in. Yeah. But I think what I think they said Joe Fixit's going to be in it. So Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'll be back then.
I found it interesting, especially as it. First off, within it's, and obviously, I mean, it was an obvious misdirect that spoilers. The girl was the monster the whole time.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
Yeah, well, but I felt it was a little. It was interesting to see someone else through the door, and that he is able to communicate with her psionically. Although that is not in keeping with Hulk powers, as has been pointed out. That is why Hulk can see fairies, and why She-Hulk can speak to the audience, expressly because they have this access point beyond their own perspectives. Ooh, we're going to talk about that on superconnectivity, I think, because that just triggered something in my brain. So
it's got the brain cells going and the apple juice moving
behind the green door. Make a note of it, Phil. Thank you. What goes on behind the green door?
Oh, okay.
That's what that is all reference to. It's an old jazz standard.
23 Skidoo.
It's a good song, man. Of course,
I did pick up Giant Size X-Men, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh, is that any good? I
haven't read it yet. I just picked it up for the cover. I'll be honest.
Reviews were kind of lukewarm. What I saw, I didn't read it.
I mean, I'm not reading a lot of books. I was like, I got a couple books to shell out. It's X-Men. Yeah, it's a giant size. Yeah.
She's saving up for next week. Amazing Spider-Man 850.
Of course. It's going to break the bank. I mean, it's not going to break the bank like DC would, but it's going to break the bank.
I told you.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say there's planning involved. Next week, Amazing Spider-Man 850 and Batman 100 both come out.
No one cares about Batman 100.
You think that's a coincidence? I think not.
How is Batman only at a 100? Aren't they in thousands now?
They No, Detective's over 1,000, but Batman they've renumbered at least twice. So,
and they don't do the legacy.
But so it's like the sixth time they've been at 100 then. So it's really kind of not an important book in any conceivable way.
Exactly my point.
Triple digits, and it's the end of Joker one.
I'm just going to say, if I ever form a comic book company, all of my books are starting at negative 500.
Didn't DC do that? I feel like DC did that once.
Well, remember they did that Deadpool team up. They started for like 1,000 and counted.
Yeah, and then they couldn't push through. Of course,
well, you knew it.
Yeah, that's a lot to do.
Last 1,000 issues.
That's right. Negative 500.
Not Deadpool.
If you had a good story, you can get to 500 issues. If you have the right character, but that's the idea, is that when you get to 0, that's the achievement.
And
anything below 0, it's like, okay, there's a book that's out, and yeah,
that's funny. I like that idea. I might steal that idea, Charlie.
Well, feel free. If you ever need someone to help you write comic books, I'm always there. I can write.
Maybe fanfic. Maybe a fanfic collab.
Hey, you really want to really make fun of modern comics? Don't even use numbers. It's like, okay, which issue?
Letters.
Oh, issue triangle, red triangle. Okay.
Fish, purple fish.
Exactly.
Hey, Lilith, did you find the killing was too casual in the Threshing, or was it just casual enough for you?
I felt it was just casual enough, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing shocking. It's just like, yeah, I could see that.
No, I felt, yeah. I mean, when he pops the cop, that was a little weird to me. It's like the first cop who's eating the popcorn, and that was like the gag. Like, gag deaths, when you're doing that, it's always kind of weird to me. And then...
I think that was low-key subtle political commentary, too.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. That was the one thing. And it also felt like... Because even though, yes, I know, now Hulk kills because he's edgy. And don't mark my words, they're going to say, oh no, that was actually the leader influencing him the whole time to make him a murderer.
Of course.
So now we're going to put Hulk back in the box, and now he just wants to smash things again.
Anytime any hero goes on a murderous rampage, they were under the influence of somebody. I mean, Hal Jordan.
Somebody get Mephisto on the phone. Fix it. Do you think Mephisto's going to be in WandaVision, by the way? I saw like all the dang YouTube videos. I mean, titles about it.
I don't know, but I did hear Kevin Smith was talking on one of his many podcasts. I get, or Mark Bernardin was saying, I guess, there's like a bottle of wine or something in one of the scenes in the trailer. And the label's in French, but if you translate the label, it says House of M.
Yeah.
Don't you ever fix your mouth to say House of M to me. I will never forgive them for that garbage that they pulled. Never.
And isn't that just MDBson?
I think it's something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's really not that hard to translate.
Well, I didn't see it. That's a...
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I don't think Mephisto is going to be in WandaVision per se. I don't think Mephisto. They're saving Mephisto.
Doctor Strange and nothing else.
Yeah.
Ugh,
well,
so great. I definitely won't be able to see that.
They'll use Mephisto. No, they're probably honestly
Spider-Man. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they're going to use Mephisto and Spider-Man.
They're going to do it.
No. He's not even.
We're going to get there one day. Mark my words.
He's not even married. Keep him out of there.
Come on, Zendaya's gonna die, and he's gonna have Mephisto to bring her back to life.
Well, something will happen, but that when they want to start working Mephisto, I think Mephisto is a Thanos kind of thing. He's much more. He's not a villain you're going to have every episode. No. You're going to get like a little thing, which maybe we'll see with we'll see what happens with that. But that's Hellstrom coming to Hulu. We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah, when is that coming? Okay, yeah, I'll listen to
October 16th.
Okay. Ooh, just in time for spooky season.
Exactly. They got a plan. And
I will give Marvel that. Marvel and Disney, they have a plan. Yeah. But I'll never forget in my day, Marvel was bankrupt. So, I always have that in the back of my head.
Hey,
after they sold, the highest selling comic book, then they went bankrupt. Like, I'll never, that's always like, that's my Marvel era. So, I'm just.
Well, the industry.
Business is business, and sometimes business is not.
You don't do good business. You don't do such good business that Stan Lee goes off and makes his own Stan Lee comic book company, and then comes back to Marvel, and that company sues him. God, just good stuff.
It gets crazy.
Anyway, I do want to give a shout out to Hellblazer. What was that, number 10? Like the only other DC book that I bought other than Wonder Woman 84. Yeah. Like I said, I do have to actually participate in Wonder Woman because she's not doing so well in the books and the merch. So if you guys like Wonder Woman and don't want to,
what?
I think the
character supporter.
Okay, I think we lost you for a second there.
So then you will be actually paying money to see Wonder Woman 84 sometime, when it is released eventually.
Of course. I mean, I'm not going to see it in the movie theaters because I'm probably done with movie theaters at least until 2022. So
I don't know. They've got like the safe theater.
No. I
don't know. I may go see New Mutants.
And, God bless you.
And I may go see Dylan Tech. That's in my local theater. Because I would like to see
movie theaters were disgusting before, so I don't care how many times you're washing that sticky floor and spraying those seats. Movie theaters always been kind of gross. I'm like a low-key mild germaphobe, so
okay. Okay. Hey, just since we're talking,
pitch this to me.
Okay. The Department of Truth, #1. This is a cool book. First off, the art is it's that God Loves Man Kills kind of painted cover or painted art throughout it. There's a really fascinating thing they do with the lettering in this, where the lettering is done to be very raw. So that it's like, there's a word bubble, but then there's just this line around the word bubble showing the impermanence of the ideas. This comes into it because our main character, Cole, who is an FBI analyst, teaches at Quantico. Specifically, his focus is right-wing militias on the internet and how they organize and their ties to conspiracy theory groups. Specifically,
wow, that's hitting close to home. If you've ever been on a Reddit conspiracy subreddit,
this is beautiful. So, and there's a nice back and forth there. There's a whole thing we open up with, and actually this is opening up with Lee Harvey Oswald, and what happened, and this is what people are believing, and yada yada yada. We get into the whole thing. You have our Koch brothers pastiche character, because so first off, Cole, he's captured by this character who is I'm going to get her name here. What do they call her? Anyway, but she's your Men in Black character. She's awesome. She's obviously the BA of the group. This guy, old guy here, he's going to be coming up throughout it, and we know he's important, but we don't find out who he is till the very end, and there will be a spoiler at this.
Hey, Phil might like it too because it's written by James Tynan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Our talent on this is James Tynan IV. Is our writer. Artist is Martin Simmons. Letterer is Aditya Bidikar, and by the way, you did a great thing. Dylan Todd is the designer. I don't know what the designer does, but Steve Fox.
He probably puts the panels together and makes that cool, like, painted look.
Yeah,
probably.
But it's really cool. And so the basic plotline is our Cole goes to the Flat Earth Society, meets all of the people. There's some pastiche characters of the Koch brothers whose breath smells awful, and that's this recurring theme, the awfulness of their breath. And, they have manipulated the world. They have they've proven that the Earth is flat. They have the faked moon landing footage.
Do you feel called out is the thing, Charlie? As a, like, low-key conspiracy theorist, do you feel called out?
Yes, and the thing is that they fly him to the edge of the world. They fly him off of the map to the place that is the edge of Earth, and then they all get... Is it in
Antarctica?
Somewhere like that. They're not really clear. There's also this woman in red with X's on her eyes, so she's obviously a bad thing. And then our awesome Men in Black lady basically kills all of the rich people and buries them off of the edge of the Earth.
Sold!
Yes. And then they basically get the thing that basically, yes, reality, that the Earth is round and reality is real, but only because we all believe it is. And that if enough people start believing something that isn't real, it becomes real.
Mandela effect!
But then, and this is where it gets problematic, is that, yes, that becomes the reality, but then every other thing about it becomes the reality too, which is that all of the conspiracies that grew up around it have to be true too. So yes, that suddenly all the scientists were in a grand conspiracy to convince you that the Earth was round, not flat, and yada, 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 yada. And that's why the Department of Truth has to keep these conspiracies under wraps, not because they are false, but because they're going to be true if too many people believe in them, and that would destroy the world. And then we find out that the head of this group is none other than Lee Harvey Oswald. Bum, bum, bum.
Wow.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
I'm sold. I'm definitely going to pick that up Sunday when I go to my comic book shop for my DC books for next week.
It is very great. It is Image. Is Image, is that DC or Marvel's imprint? I don't know.
Nobody's. Image is Image.
It is an indie book. I thought it was an indie book. So yeah. So
Whoa,
I liked it.
Wait. Well, what kind of space-time flux is going on here where Lil Hellfire picks up her books for next week on Sunday?
Don't you worry about what me and my comic book shop do.
I see what's going on.
Because I know Lilith likes it long.
Long boxes. That's the only thing I like long.
Yes.
Bubble.
Yeah, definitely pick it up. It is a great book. I highly recommend it. I'm putting it on my pull list. I especially like that, Baron Munchausen quality, that reality is shared belief, which is just, it's fun.
That's a book that a lot of people, it got high reviews, and I just didn't have time to pick it up this week because I don't like buying Image comics digitally, like it's a whole thing. I prefer to have those actual physical floppy copies.
So I highly recommend it, and that's good. I'm glad we connected, Lilith. Now we can talk about that book each month.
Poor Philip. First he had to endure an Archie book talk.
Hey, I'm gonna surprise you. Well, I don't know, next week. Well, we're doing our big Halloween episode next week, but maybe in 2. I'm planning on picking up a book next week that's not Marvel or DC. I don't think it's even Image, but
isn't there like an Archie 1000 coming soon? Or
well, they're on hiatus right now, pretty much.
Archie turns.
They've been on hiatus for a minute, so we'll see.
Yeah,
when they come back, it might be.
Yeah, I know there's some big Archie book coming, so that's going to be like that everyone is doing now with. It's the
if you care about Archie too, like you should go support those books. It's really been struggling, kind of, sort of, as quiet as it's kept. So if you love Archie, now's the time to support it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I couldn't imagine a world without Archie. You have the old school digest and stuff, but the new Archie stuff has been really good, and it's gotten a lot of teens and stuff in the comics and other comics, not just Archie. So it's like a real bridge to the industry, and it'd be a shame if something happened to it. So I'm just gonna put that out there for you guys.
Real nice Archies you got there. It'd be a shame if something happened to them.
Especially for the CW.
Yes, but like I said, that's why I think the Sabrina books are so great, because they do thread such a great needle between old Archie and new, and I think that is why I love it, and I think that is the skid that Archie needs to turn into.
Oh, and they have been, absolutely. That's the thing about their modern line, and they also have a kind of a throwback line too. They have something for everybody, so just gonna leave that there. I know y'all got to get to super connectivity. So Philip, is there another book you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Because everything else I want to talk about is pretty much Marvel. So yeah, we'll talk that.
All right, let's get the hell out of here then.
Lilith, that is calling to her. Some maniac has her getting up at 9 a.m. All right. All right, everyone.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, so send your thoughts on what are you guys reading, what are you watching. Next week, like we said, it's gonna be us, and we're gonna have a round table. Hey,
I'm afraid of no ghosts.
An international round table from foreign lands like the UK and Australia and Alaska.
You mean baby Russia?
Oh!
You can see it from their houses.
Oh my lord! I was listening to the Lady Spiders today. You should have heard them. They're like, "Oh yeah, did you hear we're going to be in a throuple with Lilith soon?"
I mean, Florida's another peninsula, just better weather.
Anyway, so yes, the next week, like we were saying, we're going to have a bunch more friends, and we're going to review the original Ghostbusters movie from 1984. So,
God, I was not even born, but that's fine.
And I'm sorry, it's the Ghostbusters reboot from 1984. The original Ghostbusters predate that and had a gorilla named Tracy and named Grunt in Italy. Adaptation of name only. I'm sorry.
Let him get out of the system this week. All right, so come back for our big Halloween episode next week, but send your thoughts. Hey, if you want to send your thoughts on the Ghostbusters movie, email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow us on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Watch this on the YouTube channel. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Links to our Patreon, where we talk all things Star Trek. Links to merch, and more. Links to everything, all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio. Hey, can you hear me? If you can't, you might need to get yourself some Tweaked Audio headphones.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write you some commercials, Charlie. We've decided. We'll just have
I
you
just
do a
wanna-
voiceover for him.
I'm happy to, man. I love talking about the fine quality audio products at tweakedaudio.com.
That might be. I got to write some individual commercials for each show. Ray's going to play them all on his show, his shows. Anyway, yeah. So yes, buy yourself some Tweaked Audio, and hey, stuck at home with nothing to do, go pick up Hunt a Killer. Which one is
Michelle Gray needs your help, guys. And it's spooky season. Blair Witch, y'all. There's actually people alive that weren't born when that movie was made, and that bothers me because I'm old now.
Yeah, he's sitting right here eating popcorn.
Charlie's got two of them in the background.
I know. Crazy. All right. And hey, for you learned types, go pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital paperback. Volume 1, Volume 2's in the works.
Where's our audiobook, Rob? We need an audiobook for Pod Life because I'm lazy. I've read it, but I would love to hear it in audio form. So when I'm driving around,
I thought we were working on it. I'm ready to record my chapter. I mean, come on. I thought that was the plan, Jan, is everyone was going to record their own chapter.
Philip, is there a way that we can get Pod Life the book from Amazon.com for our Kindles or in paperback that would also, as we buy it, also help out the show?
I am glad you asked that, Charlie.
Certainly.
Yes. If you just go right down there in the show notes, doesn't matter if it's the YouTube or the podcast, the link is right down there in the show notes. All you have to do is click on it. Doesn't affect your shopping at all, but it helps support this show, Southgate Media Group Network, and like I keep saying, our fearless leader and her dad, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Why did your eye drift over to my box? You're weak sauce.
All right, Lil.
Best drop ever. I just want to remind y'all that over on Ultimate Spider-Cast, we got Shocktober. So please do go listen to us over there. But if you want to follow me on the internet, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire whenever Real TV comes back. And for now, you can follow me on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire 69. We are doing Halloween themed comic books. And on my regular, boring, everyday life, Lilith Hellfire 86. Bye, Felicia.
Charlie, yes, sir.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our ma's and pa's once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet things when I can and feel like I don't know what time of shows are on anymore. At Charlie Hesser, that's CHARLIE. ESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
I ain't got to do the ampersand no more.
Anyway, yes, for another week, reunited, and it feels so good. We have been your Capes.
I believe my line is ampersand.
Lunatics! Although we know it's singular, it's fine.
Comic Book Podcast.
Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe to We Are the Night.
We Are the Night.
All you have to do is subscribe to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Yeah, there's another one. Can you believe it?
Wait, what is We Are the Night? I don't know what that podcast is.
It's our new Batman. We're just rebranding before the bat.
Oh, okay. So that's our before the bat, but now it's during the bat because the bat is on before.
Exactly.
Kipper. This modern age.
There's now 2.5 Jokers left.
It's only taken 6 years, but now we're hip. Good night.